Imagine waking up one day, looking at your bank account, and realizing that you finally have the freedom to buy what you want, travel when you want, and retire early without worrying about money. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the hard truth. Most people will never reach that point because they never learn how to manage their money effectively. So today, I'm going to teach you how to set financial goals and create a budget that actually works so you can stop dreaming and start living that life. Point 1. Understand why. Financial goals are essential. Let's start with a gut check. Have you ever had a goal for your finances, but when you look back, you realize you never really achieved it? It's frustrating, right? That's because goals aren't just about wishing for money. They're about defining a clear vision for your life. And if you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. So, before you even think about budgeting, you need to set goals that are specific, measurable, and achievable. Not, I want to be rich. That's a vague fantasy. But something like, I want to save $20,000 for a down payment on a house in 3 years. That's a goal you can work towards. And no, it's not magic. It's about discipline. And honestly, anyone who tells you there's a shortcut is probably trying to sell you something. Sorry to burst that bubble. Point 2. Short-term versus long-term goals. Now, goals come in 2 flavors: short-term and long-term. Short-term goals are things like paying off credit card debt, saving for a vacation, or building an emergency fund. These are the wins that will keep you motivated in the beginning. Long-term goals are more like the heavyweight champions, buying a house, saving for retirement, or building generational wealth. The trick is to balance both. Set a mix of short-term wins to keep you pumped, but always have that long-term prize in your sight. Think of it like your favorite video game. You can't just focus on the final boss. You need to level up along the way. If you only think about the end game, you might give up before reaching the finish line. Point 3. Break down your goals into actionable steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming. If you're thinking about saving for retirement, your first thought might be, where do I even start? Here's a pro tip. Break your big goals down into small, actionable steps. Want to save $10,000 in a year? That's about $833 a month. If that still feels too big, break it down weekly. That's just a little over $190 a week. See how that feels more manageable? Financial goals are like a staircase, not a leap across a cliff. Creating a budget. Point 4. The 50-30-20 rule. A simple framework. Okay, so you've set your goals. Now, how do you make sure you stay on track? Here's where a budget comes in. But before you groan, yes, I know. The word budget often feels like a diet plan, restrictive and boring. But trust me, it's your roadmap to financial freedom. The 50-30-20 rule is simple. 50% of your income goes to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. This simple system helps you get control over your finances without feeling deprived. Let's say you make $3,000 a month. That's $1,500 for things like rent, utilities, food, stuff you can't live without. The $900 left is for your fun stuff, dining out, entertainment, and hobbies. And the remaining $600 goes into savings or paying down debt. Notice I didn't say spend $900 on Netflix subscriptions or morning lattes. You'll thank me later when your bank account doesn't cry at the end of the month. Point 5. Tracking your spending. The secret sauce. Here's the thing. If you don't track your spending, you won't know where your money is actually going. And let me tell you, once you start tracking, you'll be shocked at how much you spend on things you didn't even realize were eating away at your wealth. Use an app or a simple spreadsheet to categorize your expenses. Every dollar counts. I know it sounds tedious, but trust me, this step will make or break your financial future. You'll spot patterns like unnecessary subscriptions or impulse buys, and that's money you can redirect into your goals. Now, I know tracking your spending might feel a little too real, but once you start making small sacrifices, the results will be well worth it. But here's the kicker. If you don't act now, you'll continue to be stuck in the same cycle of poor financial decisions. And I don't want that for you.